The time is 9:14 as we take a live look out over the Myrtle Beach boardwalk. Now, winds very calm currently. We can take a look at the flags, and it's just the occasional movement. We'll have a few consistent gusts later this evening when that front is approaching 20 to 30 miles per hour. But if a severe thunderstorm warning is in your location, that means that winds will be 50 to 60 miles per hour. But it's pretty overcast. We briefly saw a little bit of some sun, still dry, but we're going to see a lot of changes as we head later into the evening time, because honestly, the afternoon is still going to be on the calm side as well. But of course, the headlines has to be the storms for later today. All threats are going to be possible. When we have a severe weather outlook, we're looking at a breakdown for wind, hail, and also tornadoes. So they all are not at zero. So we're going to be talking about those. And then your timing for this whole event, the whole rain event, is honestly from 5 to 11. It's not going to be severe that whole time, but we're going to be monitoring it again for this evening, winding down just before midnight. Currently on Viper 13 real-time radar, we saw a few little light showers, but again, there's not much going on in the Carolinas at all. Western North Carolina is seeing some heavier rain, but there's not even any storm activity going on right now. All the stormy weather right now is down to the south. Of course, following the cold front, we've seen several severe thunderstorm warnings, a couple of tornado warnings. Thankfully, no active tornado warnings at the moment, but definitely seeing this south side is where a lot of that stormy weather currently is, but it's still going to be shifting our way. And the severe weather with this system actually began back on Saturday, so we have 48 hours of severe weather reports across the country, as high as Iowa and all the way down to, of course, Louisiana. But in total, most of this has been wind and hail reports. We're seeing nearly 300 damaging wind reports, 187 for large hail. And surprisingly, there's been a lot of tornado warnings, but just because it's warned doesn't mean you have a tornado actively on the ground. It just means they're watching for some rotation that's occurring on radar. So over the past 48 hours, only 5 reported tornadoes so far. So we check out the temperatures today. It is going to be a little bit above average, and it's very humid outside as well. The highs will be around 74 for the beaches and about 82 across the PD. Of course, we do have this large enhanced risk from the Gulf Coast extending up into central North Carolina. The key differences compared to yesterday is that the Grand Strand and lower Marion County has actually been downgraded. We still have a slight level 2 risk, but it's elevated still across the PD. And thankfully, the tornado risk is lower than what it was yesterday. It was at 10%. Now it's down to 5%. We're still mostly concerned about wind, which is at a 30% potential. Lunch hour still dry, just on the cloudier side. And timing things out, again, we're waiting till 5 and 6 in the evening time for this just to begin for the westernmost portion of the viewing area. Makes its way to the coast between 7 and 8, and then slowly pushing offshore. But definitely a lot of heavy rain, frequent lightnings and gusty winds. And again, a quick spin up tornado is possible, but that's definitely not the highest threat to expect today. It'll be your gusty winds and some small hail. Overnight temperatures are going to be extreme as well. And actually for the rest of the work week, once this cold front moves through, we're going to have one day of very pleasant, refreshing air because the humidity will be lower, but then it's going to get hot as we go into the rest of the work week, and the humidity will be on the rise as well. We'll be watching for record high temperatures come Friday and Saturday. At the beaches, winds are south at 10 to 15. The water's at 66. Your 7-day forecast, the temperatures around 72 to 74, which isn't bad, but then approaching 80 for the end of the work week, and inland even higher, 76 tomorrow, 88 Thursday, and approaching 90 on Friday.